start of a new year could mean dealing with the unknown, as today marks a pinnacle moment in Colstrip's long-standing power history.
Bright and early this morning, coal-fired power plant 1 shut down for good after parent company Talon Energy announced its 2 oldest units would retire in 2020.
And Unit 2 will follow suit in the next few days because Talon says the units are no longer economically viable.
Units 3 and 4 are set to run until at least 2027. As Q2's Andrea Lutz reports, those living in Colstrip are calling this a sad day while trying to stay optimistic.
For a town founded on coal, the side of Unit 1 not running is hard to see. After all, this is where it all began.
Well, it's kind of a lost era. I mean, it's been here for over 30 years.
Colstrip resident Leo Connor works at the Rosebud coal mine, so he sees firsthand the impact the closure has on the town he loves.
It's a very close-knit community, so I think with the plants going down, it's going to be a sad day.
Construction on the first 2 plants got underway in the mid-1970s, and it ushered in a new era for Montana's energy sector. The town of Colstrip boomed, and so did jobs.
And of course, it's very disappointing.
Mayor John Williams says perhaps the rest of Montana doesn't realize how important coal power is to our electricity grid.
Every city and town within the state of Montana is extremely dependent upon affordable, reliable electricity.
But decades later, Colstrip has struggled against pushes to increase investments in renewable energy in the Pacific Northwest, with rising competition from cheap and abundant natural gas.
Take a look at it, folks. Take a look at the value of benefit that we have received over these 45, 50 years of having that coal product being mined in our state.
John says it's very disappointing. Still, he says Colstrip will power on.
We'll move forward. We'll continue to do the good things that we do. That's been my attitude. I've been here a long time.
And on the day that Unit 1 shuts down for good, many in town have high hopes for the year 2020 and beyond. They're optimistic, saying that the end of an era is just another day in the long history of Colstrip powering Montana. In Colstrip, Andrea Lutz, MTN News.
All right, thank you, Andrea.
Now, one of the biggest advocates fighting to keep Colstrip power up and running says January 4th, 2020 will go down as a dark day in Montana history.
Republican State Senator Dwayne Ankney calls this a prime example of how out-of-state and foreign dark money are destroying our communities and our families. He says coal does so much more than power our homes. Coal funds our public schools, infrastructure, parks, and libraries.
He goes on to say the coal severance tax generates irreplaceable revenue for these essential public services, unlike hobby projects like wind and solar, which produce no revenue for these services.
Well, Mayor Williams of Colstrip also spoke today about a transition fund in the amount of $10 million in which Puget Sound Energy, a co-owner of Units 1 and 2, will pay.
However, he says there is no plan yet for how those funds will be dispersed and where the money will go.